Alright everyone, we're back. Back for another episode. Today, I think what we need to do is we need to find a place to live. While I like the maple forest, I'm not getting a feeling that this is the kind of place that I would like to set up a base. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to run off in a direction, and I think it's going to be east, it looks like, and see if we can find somewhere to live. So I'll be back once I've found something. See you soon. Okay, I was just on my way to find something. It looks like a Countess Underground standing there. Let me get out so you can see the mini-map. Yeah, I was just on my way and I found some Growthcraft bamboo. I want to collect some of that so that we can start doing Growthcraft stuff ASAP. Because I want to do all the Growthcraft things. But anyway, I'm going to pick up some of this bamboo. Here's a bamboo shoot, which you need to grow the bamboo. And I will see you soon, hopefully in a new place to build. While I'm wandering through the woods here, trying to find some place to call home, I remembered I forgot to tell you guys something last episode. For those that don't know and don't follow me on Twitter, or didn't watch my Ziggurat episode 2, the Raxpack is out now, and you can get it on FTB. To get on FTB, you just need to install FTB, and in the section that asks you about third-party packs, it's at the bottom left, you want to enter Raxpack, R-A-X-P-A-C-K, and that will get you Raxpack. It should start downloading, or at least I think unlocks the page for you to choose to download. Lets you view the description and all that, and you should be able to get hold, little shrine thing, you should be able to get hold of the Raxpack for yourself. Now, the version of the Raxpack that you would be playing doesn't have some of the updates that this one does, but for the most part you will be playing the same pack. And a couple of noticeable differences: you don't have the tier 6 altar for blood magic, and you also aren't using Chisel 2, you're still using Chisel by Pokefin, which is an older version and doesn't have some of the cooler blocks. But hopefully I'll get 1.1 out soon, and that will let you have access to everything you're seeing here. Now these are tomatoes from the kitchen mod, so I want to grab some of those. And I'll keep looking for that base, and I'll see you soon. I found some Growthcraft bees, you can hear it. So this will allow me to break this and get some drones and beehive and some wax. Now these bees and honeycomb and so on, there's still some bees flying around here, you can hear them. They let me create apiaries, Growthcraft apiaries, which will let us get our own honey, which is super cool. Alright, still off to find some more stuff. I'll keep you posted if I find anything else interesting. See you soon. Alright, on my way to find somewhere to live. This place is looking pretty picturesque too, so I'm kind of keeping it in the back of my mind. We could always move here, but on my way I found a Skystone meteorite. These things are from AE2, and this is what you need to keep track of if you want to get started with AE2. Now, there's no way that we would be getting into AE2 this soon in the series, just because it takes a little more resources than that, than just finding a Skystone meteorite. But as you can see, it's a very cool piece of world generation, and I think we should mark it on the map because we might need to come back to it later, so I will try to indicate it. So we go to waypoints. Here we go. New Skystone meteorite. Meteor. Right. One of them, meteor or meteorite. When it's in the sky, it's a meteor, and when it's on the ground, it's a meteorite. Something like that. I'm sure you'll correct me in the comments. Anyway, we'll just save that there. Cool. Close. And go back to the world, and we have the Skystone meteorite waypoint. Awesome. So we'll be able to come back and find that. But this is a pretty picturesque place, and so I want to kind of keep it in mind as I keep wandering around. Anyway, I'll see you soon. I have found an infested greatwood. If I'm quick enough, I can break this here spawner and get to the loot underneath. Although that might be more trouble than I think it's worth at the rate that this thing is breaking. Because cave spiders ain't so bad, but they're poison on the other hand. I might be lucky though. Wow, really? Nothing has spawned yet? Okay, I'm happy with this. There we go. And we get a broken spawner, which we can use later. We get a mundane belt. Some steel boots. I think I'll put those on. We get an apprentice vest ring. A golden apple, yes please. Some creeper heads, I'll hang on to those. Some iron ingots, that'll be our first bucket. A piece of dark steel. I guess we can find a use for that. Maybe a shovel or something. And a mundane belt. No, they can keep the mundane belt. Those can be made. So let's equip that ring. And those steel boots. We have a little bit of armor. We have a little bit of vest discount. Not that we need that discount just yet. But I'm still wandering around. Still trying to find somewhere to live. So I'll be back once I find something. Shh. Right there on the map I found something very scary. So if I sneak around here and if I'm careful, you can see some crimson cultists. These guys are real spooky and real dangerous, especially in the mounts they are. This one especially because there are so many of those robed figures around it. So be very quiet. We're going to leave these guys alone, but just like we did before, we're going to keep track of where these guys are. So I'm looking south. Let's create a waypoint. And call it Crimson Cult. And we'll revisit this a little bit later in the series. Cool. Right. Back to the game. And I'll keep searching. I'm going to head up into these mountains away from those dangerous guys here in this swamp. And hopefully we'll find somewhere to live. See you soon. Alright, I'm back. As you can see from the mini-map, not too far from that Crimson Cult, but I did find one of these shrines. They usually come with some loot. As you can see, I've already looted it, and I took these two. A little more dark steel, some zombie heads and skeleton heads. I'll definitely need those later, so that's why I want to hang on to those. Nearly left one behind. And the creepy heads, they can stack up. I'll get rid of 7 bamboo just because they're taking up a slot and I can always grow more. And a new aqua ring. The rest in there I'm not really worried about. I can find that later on. But the reason I came back really is not just to show you that. It's I'm running out of space. And the best way for me to solve that is to make myself a crafting table. Because I left that one that I made way back at the beginning. And I need some more wood. So I'll take down this entire tree. And as you can see, I've been killing cows on my way. You can see in my action bar there, I've got 22 leather and 25 beef. The beef has been keeping me well fed on this little trip, but we're about to put the leather to use finally. So I'm going to turn that all into wood. I want another crafting table, put that in the center and leather around it, and we get a crafting backpack. Now this gives me a little bit of room, which is great. So I'm going to put some of the stuff that I will use for crafting in there while we're on the journey. Leather. Oh, apparently if you select the bag you throw it. And the other one we're going to do is, I believe, using our crafting bag, we just want one of these, a normal, oh, we want to put the leather in there, a normal backpack. So we're going to have a crafting backpack and a normal backpack, and so what that will let us do, and I can clear the crafting matrix, I'll also make a bucket because that will be very useful, and I'll clear that. Cool, so now we have a normal backpack, and I'm going to move all the stuff I don't immediately need into that backpack, so that we have more room to pick up stuff on our adventure. Also from killing the cows I got some cow vita, which is used in eGamel chattels, which has been in my NEI that whole time. Wow. Okay. In one thing, I have a second ring slot, so I may as well put that in. Awesome. So I'm going to not pick that up because I don't need it, because I have my handy dandy crafting backpack, and I'm going to continue on my way. See you soon. Aha, yet again, not so far from where I just was. I found something from the Ruins mod. This is trap. I should have seen that coming. I'm just going to break this string so that I don't get myself killed anymore. And I'm also going to take your arrows. Thank you, dispensers. What have we got in here? We've got some dark iron, some more steel boots. Those can stay. I'll take the heads with me. These heads are extremely useful. Clay pattern stamp. Not so much useful, but I will take that conduit probe. Cool. I'm tempted to take these dispensers actually, but I don't have a pick, so I'll just leave them there. I know I could go and dig out some stone and whatnot. Oh, that is a wither witch. We have to go very, very quickly. Those things are extremely dangerous, particularly the cats, so I'm not even going to look behind me. Wow. I am glad we got out of that situation. Okay, I'm going to head down into what looks like an origin valley, and I'm going to check out what we find. I think I hear an ender mini, and I know it's an ender mini because I don't see an icon on the map, which means it's not a normal Minecraft mob. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Right, that was strange. We just had a bit of a crash. Let's see if it happens again. I just came across this jungle biome over here while I was wandering around, and I came north across the edge of that biome and decided I wanted to gather some more leather from the cows up here. And then we had a very strange thing happen. These cows stopped moving. These ones are moving just fine, and I can take care of them just fine, but everything stopped moving as if it was a server that was lagging. I took a look at the console, and there was no console report of error or slowdown or out of memory or anything like that, so I'm really not sure what happened, but I have journeyed quite far. Here was the last time I think that I recorded, just past this meteorite, and now I'm all the way up here, so I'm going to keep looking around for somewhere to call home, and I'll be back when I find it. See you soon. Oh, I found an actual spawner. I don't really have the light to deal with it. And we've found a Steve head, some netherwort. I really want to hold on to that netherwort. String, redstone. If you're wondering where I got that other string from, and a couple of other things you probably see, I got them from another... Oh. You know what, I'm going to destroy this one. You can always turn it into something better. It's a great thing about having Ender IO. Spawners are never really lost. Got another golden apple. Uncommon treasure, keep or trade. Yeah. Haha. Awesome. Let's open up this bag and see if there's anything in here that I can stack. Yep, quite a few things. Great. So now we've got some golden pants. We'll put those on. Got a steel helmet from another one of those. It was the same kind of dungeon that I got the hit by those arrow traps, if you're wondering where I got the other stuff from. Anyway, found our first normal spawner. It looks very cool with some wild cave stuff in there. Ooh, glowstone maybe? Yeah. First bit of glowstone. Anyway, I'm still looking. I'm gonna finally brave this jungle since I seem to have come across a coastline. And I'll see you on the other side. Alright guys, we're back. And in front of us, I think we've found home. Or rather, kind of where I'm standing is where I think we should build home. Because in front of us, we've got this beautiful sacred springs. and behind us we've got this beautiful chaparral, right? This big open plains where horses graze, and it's got kind of this open, bright nature to it. And then in front of us, because it's sacred springs, it's given this kind of mystical vibe. So what I'm thinking of doing is around the lake that you see on the mini-map. Now if I find us, we're all the way over here, by the way. That's where that jungle where I started going through was. Now we're all the way on the other side here. But if I zoom in, we've got this beautiful lake, and the sacred springs on this side with its huge mystical trees, and behind us this big huge chaparral. So what I'm thinking of is that we build along this kind of coast here and have some more magical things here and towards here, maybe in the actual springs themselves. And we've got access to water and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have a think about what we're going to do, and I'll be back once I have a clear idea of how we're going to get building and the idea that I think that I want to go for. So I'll be right back. Okay, hi everyone. We're back. Actually, it's about 2 days later. Well, this is the second day later. Reason being is that it's just been a busy weekend for me, but now I'm back and we are going to work on some stuff. So I had some ideas as well about what we're going to build, but I have something I need to do first. I'm going to show it to you because it's actually really handy for your own single player things. Since we've picked that this will be our home from now on, what we should do is we should open up chat. Oh, you got to make sure that your cheats are on for this, because otherwise you'll be rejected when you try and do these commands. So what you want to do is you want to do /set spawn, and then you want to do your X, Y, and Z coordinates. So for me, that is 4331, 63, and 94. So if I do that, spawn, the actual spawn of the entire world, so if I died and the bed was broken or it aired out for some reason, because that happens sometimes, then this is where I would appear, right on the waterfront here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to pre-gen all of the chunks around us in a really big area. For me, you probably want to do a small area, but because my computer can probably handle it, I'm going to be pre-genning a rather massive area. This may take some time and there may be an edit just after this, but you do /pregen spawn, and then I'm going to do 60. Now this is a radius, so this is actually 120 blocks in a square, out 60 from the X and Y, right? So centered on this position is 60 chunks, or 120 chunks total in each direction. So that's like 12 times 12, and I can't math. That's like 244 or something like that. Anyway, so let's do that. So maybe you can still hear me. I'm not sure. What it's going to do is it's going to go through here and it's going to go from 0% all the way to 100%. As you can see, it's going to do 144,000 chunks. I'm sorry, I had to add the zeros. So there you go. It's not 244, it's 144. And it's going to keep doing this flush and flush end, but I'll be back once it hits 100%. This may take some time. Alright, I'm back, sort of. Chunk, excuse me. I'm back. So we actually managed to finish the chunk pre-genning, and that was all good. But unfortunately, what happened during that is I got a couple of soft crashes, and by that what I mean is the server, because what happens in single player, much like in multiplayer, is there's a server behind the scenes doing all the things that a server in multiplayer normally does, serving chunks, generating, yada yada yada. Unfortunately, and until Greymerk fixes it, roguelike dungeons will be out. There's a particular kind of dungeon, the catacombs, which appears to be causing a looping event, where the timer for generating the catacombs seems to lock up the server completely, as in you can't place blocks, almost like you're having the most horrible lag ever. But it's single player, so we should sleep. And I'll continue explaining while that happens. Anyway, so you have to quit right out of Minecraft and reload. So what I ended up doing was... Oh, that's right, you have to sleep twice. Quitting right out of Minecraft and coming back in. And then that seems to have you able to play again. Now, that is the same crash that happened earlier in this episode, and that's what caused it, is the catacombs generating. So that's a thing that I suggest is taking roguelike dungeons out until that happens, until that gets fixed. Once it does get fixed, however, we'll be away laughing and I'll put it back in. So the other thing that you do after you pre-gen the chunks, and I don't suggest you do this because I also crashed after doing this, is you do /purge chunks. Now the reason you don't want to do this after all, because what that will do basically is purge all the unused chunks. Basically it'll make sure any chunks that you aren't using as a player around you get unloaded. Because when you pre-gen an entire area of the world, a whole lot of chunks load and then stay loaded. So you want to make sure all those extra chunks get unloaded so your game doesn't lag out like crazy. What I do suggest you do instead of using purge chunks is closing the game completely and reloading it. And that will have you do effectively the same thing. The reason you don't want to use purge chunks is because unfortunately it doesn't play nicely with certain mods. Like for instance when I did purge chunks, it didn't play nicely with unloading a chunk that had Farlanders in it. And that's something that, you know, can be fixed eventually, but it would take a lot of crosstalk from a lot of mod authors to get that kind of thing sorted out. So don't expect that anytime soon. Instead, just close your game completely, close the client, close everything, and then reload your game. Should be away laughing. Anyway, so now we have 14,400 chunks around us completely generated. Means less lag when walking around, and it also means that like if I ever change anything that changes generation, it means you won't see any of those weird jagged walls or anything where biomes have split in half for a long time. Great, so our spawn is set to this beach, our area is loaded, now we can get to building. And what we're going to do before we close out the episode is we are going to make a little builder's shack. Once we've made our little builder's shack, we will move on. Right, I want some of this wood. What I'm thinking of doing, by the way, while I'm explaining and gathering resources we need for the little builder's shack, is that what we want to do for this series, I think, is I want to build like a town here, like an open town owned by people, and it's going to be populated by people. You'll see how I'll do that. I'm going to keep that kind of a little hush-hush secret until it actually happens. But it's going to be a town mostly centered on these plains. And we'll have a few buildings and everything will have its purpose. Like, we'll have a lot of the ore processing and things in a building that is dedicated to being a foundry. And we'll have a storehouse, and that's where we're going to store everything. And we'll have a like magical tower off in the sacred springs, and that's where we'll do all our magic. Everything in its place with its purpose. And donkeys. I really kind of want to build a stables and actually use these, because you can actually use donkeys quite effectively, and horses, in survival single player. Maybe not so much multiplayer because they lag out like crazy, but certainly you can in single player. So, still get punching a lot of wood. I should probably build myself an axe. But the reason I was doing that is because what I actually want to do is build a chest so I can offload some of this stuff. Or rather a double chest. There we go. Double chest. And where are we going to put our shack? I think I'll put our shack... See, there's one of the roguelike dungeons off in the distance. Now that one is generated and fine, but that's not a catacombs. And that'll still be working even though the mod's not here anymore. Which is great. But in the meantime, no new dungeons will spawn. So we just want to dump all of the stuff, basically. Let's just go wild and put all of it in here. Everything we absolutely do not need. And then I will get some cobble. Open our crafting pack. Oh, I already had cobble. Good one. And make an axe. And get some more of that. And I'll take the wood with me. Because we'll just make the builder's shack. Very small thing, but we'll build it out of wood. So, let me just gather some wood and I'll be back. Alright, I have a stack of wood and I need to replenish my hunger. But with a stack of wood we're going to create a very small builder's hut. I think we'll just make it around here. Out some of this plant life. Cool. And we'll just flatten off this. And take that. And replace it with dirt. And then get our logs back on our bar. Cool. So, with this, we're going to make a small shed of sorts. And we will make it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 by 5 on the inside. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which means we'll want some more dirt out here. Oh, can't waste. Logs take quite a while to gather when your access to them is literally the biggest trees being 2 blocks high. Let's steal some dirt from here. There we go. Cool. Okay, and we will just climb up here. Smart moving at work. Just put a 4th one on here. Stick these going out this way. And come across. Now, why am I putting so much effort into just a little shed? Well, I figure the shed's going to be around for a little while, so we kind of want to inspire a little bit of aesthetic unity rather than just making a dirt box, you know? So that's what we're going to do. Besides, I can't really live with myself if I let myself do a little dirt box. Cool. That still leaves us with 24 logs to turn into planks, which we will make a door. Keep forgetting that I need that to live in there if I want to use the wood from it. And we will build up like that. And we will have our door facing this way, I think. And the other good thing about this is for you people who are, or feel that you're possibly not as skilled as you would like to be with creative building, this shows you just how, with a couple of different blocks, you can make something that doesn't look super horrible, you know? So if I step outside here, I'm going to replace that ground, but if I step outside here, it's a cute little hut, you know? And it basically, these logs here make it look like they're cross beams built in, And if I had 4 more, which I might do, let's find one from here. As you can see, this is how I gathered all of it before. And we're going to use our high jump trick. Shift, jump, and control. Jump up here. No nerd pole required. Now it basically looks like all 3 have been slatted together somehow, locked in. And some nice wooden walls. The other thing we're going to do is I'm going to quickly dig up some of the stone, because we're going to make the floor out of the stone. We don't want to make the floor out of the planks because 1, we want to keep as many planks as we need to right in the beginning, and 2, it's nice to have a different texture on the inside, and that brings us to a total of 3 blocks used for a simple builder's hut. Not quite sure how many I'll use. I'll go to like 32-ish. There we go, 32. And now we want to dig up the ground. 5 and 5 is 25. I could have done that, so it's 26. I need 26 pieces of cobble. Oh well, extra cobble will be used for something. Now, of course, I'm not digging up the ones underneath the planks because we're never going to see them, right? So there's not much point. Here we go, cobble floor. Cute little hut. Stick a door on it. Hooray! That's our first building. We'll want to move this inside now. Everything's going to spill everywhere, but that's quite okay by me. We can sort out the junk a little while later. I will be keeping these though, because they're always good to have your construction materials early on. Great. Great, great, great. There we go. We have our first lot of stuff. Actually, I put my construction materials back in. What am I doing? I also have 26 pieces of dirt, so I think what I'm going to do with that is replace where I took out most of that cobble, anyway. Fill it back in, make the area seem a little softer, rather than a big ditch. Of course, throughout the whole process of building a town, we're going to level things out a little bit. Not too much, because we want some of the natural rolling hills and things. But there you go, and this is a cute little lilac plant sitting out here. Thanks, Minecraft. You did good. And need some more food. Want the bed. Boop. And I think, just to cap off the episode, what do I have in here? I have a couple of pieces of redstone. Can I make an easy crafting table? I think it's 4. It's a book, actually. A book. Can I make a book? I have leather. And are there reeds? There are. The reason I'm making an easy crafting table is because for the start it'll be really useful. I think what I'll do here is I'll take these to the other side. Plant all but 3 of them. Excuse me, there we go. Can't put it there. It has to be adjacent, not diagonal. Whoops. Right. So we also now have a small amount of reed growing. We'll use you. We'll put you across here. Paper. Awesome. Don't need anything special for that one. Want a crafting table. And thanks to our dungeon exploring, we got a piece of redstone, so now we have an easy crafting table. And with that, what I'm going to do is I am going to make a, where is it, tool rack. Hopefully. Not a bee box, not a wooden pedestal, not a silo support. I can actually just look for it. Tool rack might actually require iron. Let's see. Tool? No. What does a tool rack require, actually? Oh, come on, NEI. I know you're lying to me. We want bibliocraft. Yeah, there's tool rack. And easy crafting table should be able to make it. It's searching. Searching for what? Has it broken? Have I broke it? That's no good. What if I take the iron out? Oh dear. Seems like searching's broken. Or not. I can't actually make an acacia tool rack. I think that's lying. That may be one of the small caveats with this tool. Oh right, no, the search function actually lets you go through everything in your mods. Jungle, pine, where is oak? There. Why can't I make that? Alright, we'll just make it in here then. We want 8 of those. We have to make 2 crafts, which gives us spare stuff, and a piece of iron, and then we have an oak tool rack. Am I making an oak tool rack? Gonna have some pride in your tiny little building shack. So we'll just stick our stuff up here, and then we'll call it an episode. I know you guys were probably expecting a little more, but we actually have hit that 30-minute mark. So, oh, excuse me. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up here with our building, and when we come back next episode, we're going to start on something. And hopefully that starting on something will be going mining a little bit, because what we want to do is we want to start with, we want to start out our town by going through Flaxbeard's steampunk stuff to get started. We're going to start off low tech and move on our way up and build the town that way. So, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.